is Woodrow Keeble. A lot of people call him Woody. He was a Medal of Honor winner in the Korean War. And what makes Woody amazing is that he did some amazing warrior things. He had the true heart of a warrior. The term was that they used in the Sioux Nation was Wawadetaka. It means do not be scared of anything. Be braver than that which scares you the most. Woody epitomized the true warrior spirit in everything he did. Woody was a big man, 6 foot plus, 230 plus pounds. Now, we see a lot of people big like that now, but in the mid-30s and 1940s, that was a rarity. Not everybody was that big. And he was 100% Sioux Indian. So Woody, when World War II broke out, he had an opportunity to go play baseball with the White Sox. They had drafted him, but instead he enlisted in the military. You see, the Indian nation, although they had been abused throughout history in America, they also believed in their country. And Woody, having that warrior spirit, decided, I'm going to go serve in the military. So Woody got in the military and he got sent to the Guadalcanal. Now, I don't know if you know anything about some of these battles in the Pacific, but they were fierce. And Woody had some of the fierce battles ever. But Woody also had to deal with prejudice and racism being an Indian. But when they found out how brave Woody was, everybody rallied around Woody. And Woody wasn't just brave because he was a Sioux Indian and he had that warrior spirit. Woody was brave because he wanted to protect those people and his soldiers, and he got promoted fairly quickly. So one day during a battle, Woody would often, the stories go, Woody would often go ahead of the patrols and take out snipers. He would take out enemy patrols on his own. And then sometimes his peers, as they were walking up, he was in the midst of hand-to-hand combat, taking out the enemy on his own. Woody received the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star of Valor, and then World War II was over and he went home, back to the reservation. And Woody became a teacher. Woody was a warrior for those kids he taught. Woody was a warrior for the veterans he liked working with, and he loved working with veterans. Then something happened. The Korean War started. Woody had served his war, but he enlisted in the Army again. And then he got sent to Korea. And this is where Woody's heroic status takes place. One night, there was a hill his company had to take. So 3 platoons were in charge of taking this hill. And what had happened is all the leadership, the NCOs, had been killed or wounded. And there was only Woody and a small lieutenant who were in charge of these 3 platoons. They kept trying to take the hill, and then they'd get repulsed back. They did it again, they get repulsed back, and then finally Woody said, stop. I want all these men in the defensive position because we don't need to lose another man. And then Woody, being this brave, big Indian, went to the left, and there was 3 pillboxes, and pillboxes are gunner's nest. Went to the left and took out the first gunner's nest. And then Woody snuck back, checked on these men, and then he went to the right. And then he took out the right gunner's nest. Now the Chinese and the Koreans, realizing what happened, started directing all their fire in that direction. They couldn't necessarily see Woody, but they just started aiming their fire in that direction. And one account witness said there were so many grenades thrown, it looked like a flock of blackbirds falling down. And then Woody had snuck up and he took out the 3rd gunner's nest. Now the men were safe now and they could take this hill, but Woody wouldn't leave the battlefield until the hill was taken and his peers and the people he was in charge of were in safe defensive positions. But Woody experienced some major injuries. As a matter of fact, when he finally released himself of duty, he had 85 fragment holes of grenades, fragments in his body. He had wounds in his chest, his left arm, his legs. And obviously Woody's war was over at this time. He was immediately put in for the Medal of Honor, but the paperwork was lost. And again, he was put in for the Medal of Honor, but the paperwork was lost. Woody went home back to the reservation. And now Woody walked different. He wasn't quite as strong, and he walked with a cane. Woody was in a lot of pain. But Woody, having the heart of a warrior, would put on his uniform with all his medals, and he would go talk to veterans. And he worked with veterans. And he did this for the rest of his life. And when he passed away, he never received the Medal of Honor, but 26 years later, he received it posthumously. Woody epitomized the heart of a warrior.